Hello everyone, it's a good morning for me, maybe it's a good morning for you as well. I am in the mountains. So I thought about making this video for a while now, and the main reason is because that was a tight turn, maybe I should go second gear. So as you already know, I drive a Ford Focus ST. 2018 model, which is the last model year of the Focus ST or Ford Focus in general released in the United States. Now, even though it's been 3 years since I bought the car, there are no new cars on the market, still there are tons of people who repurchase these vehicles from others and are asking the same question over and over again. What are the mods, or what should I do to my car? The first thing, I don't particularly like this question for I'm gonna go in second here. Okay, I don't like this question particularly because this question has been answered so many times. So I feel like every time someone asks this question again, he just wants to confirm the modification he wants to do to his car. After owning the car for 3.5 years and almost 37,000 miles, I decided to give a rundown of the modifications I've done to my car. And what is the approach I think everyone should take when modifying his car. I would consider that my car is largely stock. And I say largely stock because engine-wise, tuning, I haven't tried any tunes. I'm perfectly fine with the power. So most of my modifications either relate to reliability, improvements, or driving improvements as far as traction and all that stuff. The first modification I've done was the Ford Performance exhaust by Boral. And the reason I installed the exhaust was because all over the place people are expecting a performance vehicle to sound better. And although I liked a lot the design of the stock exhaust, which looks very unique, I was in a situation when I wanted it to sound better or louder because, you know, it's still a 4-cylinder. I've done that and I was pretty happy since then. I didn't want it to be louder. I have a video on the channel that shows or demonstrates the sound of the exhaust much better than you can probably hear it now. And you know, I mean, if everyone around wouldn't scream about how bad the stock exhaust sounds, I would probably didn't change it. But there's that stigma or social expectation that, you know, this car being a performance car has to sound better. So that's how I ended up buying an exhaust. The other modification I've done, and I'm very happy with it, it's the oil catch can. I installed it around, I'd say 5,000 miles. I had the oil catch can for over 25,000 miles at this point. And I've collected around 1/4 of a gallon of gunk or liquid, whatever, which is sitting in my garage. And I remember how my miles per gallon improved. So now, regardless of how I drive, I'm gonna have the same miles per gallon, which is 27. Before the oil catch can, I had last result I could get was like 24, 25 maybe in a combined manner. The catch can I got is the Mishimoto, so it's not particularly easy to service, but it's quality made, and I don't mind getting under the car whenever I change the oil or even in between. What else did I done to it? Oh, the mud flaps. Yeah, I guess this is not much of a visual improvement, but more of a practical one, because I didn't bought the most expensive or the ones people are normally buying, some rally something. I just bought the cheapest ones I could get on eBay, and they still costed me like $60 or something like that. So with that said, installing them helped a lot with protecting the fenders from dirt and rock chips. So that wasn't that much of a cosmetical improvement as to protect the paint on the car. And I think for a long time these were my only modifications, honestly. I liked how the car handled, the way it looked. I didn't want any new wheels. I had a separate winter setup of wheels I was using, and not long ago I ended up selling that set because it looked just like the standard snowflakes, and bought some used titanium fusion wheels, which I think look nice. Oh, we hit the Bush Parkway. Making a U-turn here, and I'm gonna go down the hill. As I said, these were my modifications for like 2 years or something like that, until I saved up enough money to be able to buy a limited slip differential. And I wanted that limited slip differential for a long time because there's two type of people. You're either driving in the city only, and in this case you just need a good tire and the factory traction is fine. Or if you start to drive in a more aggressive manner, especially in turns or in corners and mountains, you need a better traction distribution. And this is where I just had to buy a limited slip differential. I had it for about a year now, well, almost a year. And the improvement from the limited slip differential is just immense. There's a lot more confidence in driving with it and all that stuff, and it's just, it's a modification that makes sense. This is when you're pretty much transforming your car from just a stupid front-wheel drive car with a lot of power to a real performance car. It's expected, if you're really serious about the performance or traction of the car, to have that limited slip differential. I'm not gonna get too much into detail. You can watch my video on the limited slip differential I made some time ago that pretty much describes what differential I chose and why did I chose it and all that stuff. So please watch it. About the same time I put the limited slip differential on, I installed a short throw shifter. And again, that's more of a convenience mod / increased usability. What I'm trying to say is that with the stock shift plate, I would always have that kind of hesitation of shifting into the second gear, which it kind of clunked a little, or I shall say it shifted into the second gear harder than into third or fourth or fifth or sixth. So the JBR short throw shift plate kind of solved that issue. It shortens the throws by 30% or something like that. Anyway, I got used to it so quickly that now I even forgot that I have a short throw shifter. Another thing, it's a bearing in transmission. I'll just show it on a screen how it's called, because I cannot recall how the part is called right now. But anyway, again, this is something that kind of improved reliability and feel of the car, because before that, if you would drive with the stock bearing on a highway for a long time, you would be in the situation where you want to downshift to fifth gear, and it feels like the clutch is very heavy, and the shift to that fifth gear is, it's even heavier. Anyway, this bearing helped a lot in this regard. It's made mostly out of metal compared to plastic in the stock ST1, and it helped tremendously with that. So the downshifts in fifth gear on a highway or in any other gear are much smoother and easier. And that's about it, actually. I don't think... Oh, okay, so I changed the brake lines. Now they're stainless steel. I would say they helped a lot with having a firmer pedal feel, brake pedal feel, compared to what it was before. I would say it's kind of, the difference feels minimal, because although I drive a lot in the mountains, or do spirited driving, I try to lean more toward the momentum type of driving of the car. So I'm trying not to use brakes too much, if that makes sense. So because of that, the only time I felt the benefits of a stainless steel braided brake lines was when I went to my first and only so far track event. I think there's hardly anything else I added to the car. And the reason is simple for that. Because I drove so many other cars, I learned to appreciate the car for what it is, and not sick to make it something that it's not. And I'm not saying that a Ford Focus ST platform is not capable. It's actually very capable. Basically, I don't want to try to make a car, transform the car into something the car is not. The best approach would be just to buy a second car. I know it's easier said than done, and most people, or there are many people who live with one single car and all that stuff, but you're kind of losing track of what you initially intended to buy the car for. As far as adding more modifications to this car, I don't see that coming, honestly. I might probably buy a rear diffuser. It's a diffuser that covers the entire underside of the car, from the suspension all the way to exhaust tips, and this should improve the airflow and make the car more stable. We all drive on the highway, on higher speeds and all that stuff, so that should be a good improvement. Other than that, honestly, I'm just gonna save up for the next car, which is gonna be a rear-wheel drive coupe or something like that. And the car may not feel as fresh and exciting as it felt in the first year when I got it, but there's still that kind of connection I'm having with the car, and I always enjoy driving it. So yeah, that's my take on modifications. I'm aware that this is more of a biased view or approach, and it's not backed by any kind of statistics, and at the end of the day, it's your car, and you're the one to choose what to do with it. But just keep in mind that you might end up spending a lot of money and still not be happy with the car, in which case you either chose the wrong car to begin with, or you'll be better off buying a second car, a more dedicated sports car or something like that. I might do some more updates on the car down the road, but until then, thanks for watching. I will see you next time, and yeah, there's some more videos to come. Kind of hard to keep a schedule for them because of my job, which requires a lot of time and effort. So, but anyway, stick to the channel. There's going to be more cool stuff coming in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.